Good morning and welcome to THV 11 Morning News with Tracy and me. Hey. Hayden and Ashley are off today, but we got you covered because Tracy's doing double duty again with traffic.
Yeah.
And whatever traffic is giving you a nice break today.
It's really easy, fingers crossed we didn't just jinx ourselves. But yeah, it's looking
really,
good. With today being the observed holiday for a lot of companies, we are seeing traffic being very, very light out there. In fact, like I was telling you at the end of our THV 11 Morning News, if you're headed to Hot Springs, maybe to the lake, you're good to go. Things are good here with the Hot Springs bypass there. Things are looking nice as we are making our way through the rest of the metro. Live traffic looking great. And I thought we might go ahead and just take a look again. All green if you're heading to Hot Springs, to Lake Hamilton, Lake Catherine, to Ouachita, all good there. Well, maybe you're heading off to Lake Dardanelle. It's good too. Maybe floating the Buffalo, getting things going. All green. And then as we're heading in north a little bit around Greer's Ferry, Heber Springs area, looking good as well. No matter where you're going, if it's to the lake, maybe traveling for the weekend, or even to just to get to work. You do have to go to work today. Things are looking good. We do still have our weather impact alert of that high pressure heat dome still in place, but it was down in the Gulf earlier this week and it started to make its way. You can see now it's just off to the east northeast here, and that's where we're going to continue to see it making its trek. But it's opening things up a little bit for the potential for a few more of those pop-up showers, a little more moisture making its way into our area. Looking outside again, it's not too bad. It's a little muggy out there though, friends, but we're all used to that. Those calm winds are certainly not making things feel any better. We've got a few clouds, but humidity right around 84%, but you certainly feel it as you're walking outside. And that impact being the dangerous heat and humidity that will continue through, again, the holiday weekend. Making sure you're drinking that water, the electrolytes, all of that, checking on each other, and just making sure you know, again, what is going on with your friends if they're starting to not feel very well. The heat advisory will stay in place till tomorrow around 8 p.m. I was going to see those heat index values around 105 and up. Now, we're going to see some isolated showers here and there, so that's going to make those temperatures and maybe even those heat index fluctuate just a little bit, but still no, it's going to be out of here quick if you do see one of those showers. We'll talk a little bit more about all those expectations coming up.
Tracy, thank you. We began with Arkansas wrapping up the fiscal year with more money in the bank. The state finished with a $655 million budget surplus, nearly $300 million more than last year, growing its total reserves to a record $4 billion. Governor Sanders says the surplus supports her push for more income tax cuts. But some lawmakers argue the state should spend more of that money on issues like social services and the rising cost of the school voucher program. With the new school year approaching, families who use Education Freedom accounts could see new limits on how they spend the money. State education leaders have approved rule changes that now go to the legislature for final review. The plan would require pre-approval for many non-core purchases. It would cut how much unused money can roll over and limit some athletic reimbursements. Leaders say it's about clearer rules and accountability. Some homeschool families say the money is a lifeline, but they do have concerns.
And I feel like there's a lot of disinformation out there, misinformation out there of people that think that parents are just able to buy whatever they want with the program, and that's not the case.
We also need to make sure that we have very clear guidances on what those purchases are that would qualify for an educational experience for your child.
State Senator Missy Irvin says the state has worked to provide clarity for parents while also trying to make sure money in the accounts is spent on education expenses and materials. Residents and business owners in Pine Bluff are recovering after a strong storm caused a citywide power outage and massive tree debris in the roads. Take a look. City officials say more than 12,000 customers lost power. It was on Wednesday night. Crews responded to more than 20 reports of downed trees after wind gusts reaching about 50 miles an hour. The storm also toppled trees, blocked some roads, and forced some businesses to close while the power was out. The city is urging drivers to treat intersections without working traffic lights as four-way stops and use alternate routes if possible. Also in Pine Bluff, cooling stations are open at fire stations every day from 1 to 6 p.m. through July 10th. Visitors can get cold water, have their basic vital signs checked, and find a cool place to escape the dangerous heat. And a heads up, officials say Station 7 is closed for remodeling. As well, don't forget to check on your neighbors and drink plenty of water, the usual rules. Cooling centers are also available here in Little Rock. There are 3 locations, primarily Dunbar Community Center, Southwest Community Center, and West Central Community Center. And in North Little Rock, the community center there has a cooling center. You can find more information on our website, thv11.com. Community and state leaders came together to celebrate the grand opening of a new skilled nursing and rehabilitation center in Benton. Local lawmakers joined the ribbon cutting for Willow Ridge, which offers short and long-term care, private rooms, and therapy services. Secretary of State Cole Jester also took part in the celebration and said the new facility represents a strong commitment to caring for people who need that extra support.
If you've read the Bible and you live by it, you will see that God judges people how they treat people who cannot help themselves, the very old, the very young, the widow, and the orphan. And when we serve those people with excellence, that's what we're called to in the Bible, and it really doesn't fit for us to do anything less at all.
The Benton Area Chamber of Commerce says Willow Ridge is committed to delivering high-quality care while treating every patient with dignity and respect. One quick note, the city of North Little Rock has canceled the introduction ceremony for its next police chief, Hayward Finks. The event had been scheduled for 11 o'clock Monday morning, but Mayor Terry Hartwick canceled it because of a personal family matter. Finks is still set to be formally sworn in now on Thursday, July 23rd at the North Little Rock Event Center. There is a cemetery tucked deep into the woods that may be easy to miss, but it holds generations of local history. Skelton Cemetery in Arkansas dates back to the 1800s, and preservationists say overgrowth has made it hard to find and even harder to maintain. Bo Russell went looking for this hidden site and takes us through how it came to be.
If you find yourself in Fayetteville, just a few blocks off of College Ave, and you're driving through a neighborhood and you see this bench at the end of that neighborhood's road, you've reached Skelton Cemetery. It's just a few steps behind me here in this forest. Now, if you walk up to it, you might think, well, it looks a bit spooky, maybe a little overgrown, but preservationists tell me it holds hundreds of years of history. Just off College Ave, tucked into the woods of a Fayetteville neighborhood, Skelton Cemetery is hidden in the brush. Records say more than 30 people are buried here, but other documents say there could be acres of graves under the trees and brush. The cemetery was once part of the Skelton family farm. Auntie Skelton, a Civil War soldier, is buried here, along with even older soldiers.
There's a Revolutionary War veteran buried in this cemetery.
But its history is only part of its story. Cemetery conservationist Bob Young says the cemetery has been cleaned up before. Neighbors and descendants have tried to help over the years. He says a man who lived nearby was working to get it cleaned up and even looked into ways to turn it into more of a neighborhood park.
The problem is this cemetery is technically owned by the county. It's right in the middle of Fayetteville. The county doesn't want to deal with it. Fayetteville doesn't want it.
Young says that's a common problem. He says Washington and Benton County have hundreds of cemeteries, many of them old family burial sites on former farms. And when families move away or land changes hands, the care can stop.
Most governmental agencies or entities don't want to deal with cemeteries because they are a negative cash flow.
Over time, trees grow in, vines cover the ground, and stones can break, sink, or disappear. Young says some of the oldest markers weren't even formal headstones.
Most families back then, they didn't have the funds to have a headstone per se.
But Young says there are ways to help.
Teach people how to clean headstones and do no harm. Sure. That's the key. A lot of people will do a lot of damage with good intentions.
And to Young, preserving a cemetery like this is about more than just brush and stone.
Headstones are our most tangible link to our past. Buildings will come and go or be remodeled or torn down or whatever. That headstone ideally should be there in perpetuity.
Well, the good news is there's not a lot of traffic on the roads and things are looking really great here in Central Arkansas, but I want to take you to Brinkley just in case you are traveling that way. We do have all lanes impacted at this point. This is again eastbound right at that Brinkley exit. It's exit 216. Now they are beginning to tow that semi out of the median, but you can see they've slowed things down because they were having to use the entire road there. So it looks like they will get that moving along here before long, but if you are in that area or maybe head to that area just to keep you updated, there's a little bit of a backup there. But around the metro, things are looking pretty good this morning. We're still seeing all green here in Central Arkansas, and I think that's because everyone's home today. Most folks are off work. But again, just watching Brinkley there, we're seeing all lanes stopped. It does say it's going about 13 miles per hour, but still, you can see right there that they've got the roads all completely blocked. So keep that in mind for that area. But here in Central Arkansas, we are doing fantastic. And temperatures to kick off your Friday, your holiday weekend, is 78 in Central Arkansas. So we're getting ever so close to 80 already here at 7 o'clock in the morning. We are going to see that current heat index right around 81. That's what it feels like right now. So we're seeing kind of that string of those lower 80s starting to come into play. And you know, that spread will get bigger and bigger as we're heading into the next couple of hours. Our highs today right around the mid 90s. Hot and humid and an isolated shower is certainly possible. And that could cool things down just a little bit as we're heading into the afternoon. The heat index is going to be expected right around 103, 105 in Stuttgart, a little bit warmer there in Searcy. But again, talking about those isolated showers, that can change the dynamic of things as we're heading into the afternoon and kind of make things move around a little bit. But those afternoons ahead, friends, they are not getting any cooler. We're going to stay above average in those mid 90s or so. A little dip there early next week with some rain chances, and the mornings, well, same story. Still for the next 11 days, we're going to stay well above average with those upper 70s. Well, a high-profile celebration is building in New York City, centered at Madison Square Garden. Law enforcement is setting up security as buzz grows about one of the country's most talked about couples. Stick around, we'll talk more about it.